Of course, I wanted to build a business, but I never in my wildest dream thought that I'd build $1 billion business.
Welcome. I'm Maneet Ahuja, Editor-At-Large at Forbes and founder of Iconoclast. And we're here at the NASDAQ market site with a very special guest. I'm thrilled to be joined now by Anastasia Soare, CEO of global beauty brand Anastasia Beverly Hills. She's also the author of the brand new book, Raising Brows, My Story Building a Billion-Dollar Beauty Empire. Anastasia, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So, Anastasia, you are the definition of an iconoclast. Your story is so inspirational, so I just have to start there. In your recently released memoir, Raising Brows, you discussed your journey escaping communist Romania and coming to America and building your billion-dollar empire. Talk to me about your experience as an immigrant who didn't, even know English, to building this incredible empire with such a global impact today.
Well, I arrived, of course, in Los Angeles. My dream was to be in Beverly Hills, and I started working as an esthetician because I didn't speak the language. That was the job that I could get without speaking very well English. And I realized that nobody paid attention to eyebrows. I wanted to fix my own eyebrows because I was a victim of the 80s, pencil thin and round.
I love that story.
Yes, and I remember my art teacher talking about the importance of eyebrows and all the study that we did, Leonardo da Vinci using the golden ratio. And I fixed my own eyebrows, and I wanted to share with my clients that I was doing facial and body waxing. And that was the beginning of this amazing idea, and the gap in the beauty industry that didn't exist, it was eyebrows. And the owner didn't think that was a financial benefit for them to do eyebrows, and I mean myself to do eyebrows, and I decided to open my own business. I rented a small room, and I started doing that, building incredible clientele. By '97, I decided to open a salon and focus only on eyebrows, because in the small room I used to do facial and body waxing and eyebrows. So '97, I opened the salon, and of course I had a lot of naysayers. The owner of the building didn't want to rent me the space.
I heard that. That
Yes.
was such a compelling story that you had to prove that this was
Correct.
a viable business because you were a pioneer in the space.
Well, yeah, but at that time, I'm talking about '96, a man couldn't understand the importance of eyebrows. And I used every tool possible to convince the landlord to rent me the space. And finally
Like what? Give us some examples.
Well, I said, I had many articles because I was in many magazines. I'm so famous doing eyebrows. I started selling myself, and still he didn't budge. And then at the end I said, look, I'm an immigrant. I'm sure somebody, your parents, your grandparents, somebody in your family was an immigrant. Somebody gave them a chance. Give me a chance. Rent me this for 6 months, and I promise you I'm going to make it work. And he finally decided to let me rent the space. And of course, 2 weeks later was a line outside the salon before we opened at 9 o'clock. And he called me like, "What did you say you are doing there?" Because it's a line outside. Yeah, I told you so.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning.
Did he offer you an upgraded, bigger space after that?
No, I didn't want it because it was still great, and I wanted to very carefully. I grew my business. I didn't take, rush decision. I wanted always to make sure that this was what I wanted. And then by 97, 98, there were no product. I didn't have products. So I used to mix some aloe vera with eyeshadow and use to create the perfect shape.
Right.
And my client used to ask, they want the product. So I went to Italy and I started working on a product line.
Working on the entire suite of products. Yeah, I think you said in one of your previous interviews you had an actress who was going on set for 6 months.
Yes, Poppy Montgomery
Yes.
was going to film in Canada, Marley Monroe movie, and I went to the library and I got to an art store and I got some plastic. I cut out a stencil and I gave her all the other products. I trained train her makeup artist, and 6 months later she came and she said, oh my God, this was amazing. We need this. Everybody needs this, because you are only in Beverly Hills. People are not traveling that much. So yes.
But it's amazing your incredible impact. And you mentioned your clientele. So you're often referred to as the queen of eyebrows. You've worked with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to J-Lo to Kim Kardashian. And we talked a little bit about some of the early days of the people that doubted you and how you overcame that. What gave you that conviction in your gut? Because that's something that we talk about at Iconoclast, the people who go against the grain, the disruptors, the innovators. What gave you that early conviction that to follow your gut when you were starting out from scratch?
First, I helped my mother when I was a young kid, a teenager. I helped my mother run her business. My mother was making clothes for her clients. And I understood in communist regime was very difficult to own your business, but my mother was able to do it. She always thought you will figure out and you could do whatever you put your mind into. So growing with that mother, when I came here, when I came in the United States and I started shaping eyebrows, I really believe that it's a mathematical formula. The human eye is encoded to recognize that balance and proportion that a well-shaped eyebrow is going to give. So I really believed in it. I was dead serious that this is going to create something for my clients. It was an authentic belief that whatever I'm going to do, I'm shaping and creating and educating my clients with the products that I'm going to create will improve their appearance, will give them confidence, and they will. Whatever makes you beautiful makes you powerful. So women feel powerful when they are feeling beautiful. So I think this is how I started creating the products, because I couldn't, copy anyone. So I will create every product depend of the need that my client had. If she over tweezed her eyebrow, if she never tweezed her eyebrow,
right.
She had curly hair, unruly hair, the eyebrow going down. So every product that I created will solve a problem.
Right, that's so interesting, and that makes so much sense, because you didn't need to do market testing. You were in the market already, right? Yes. So by the time you created a product, there was already a need for that. And that's what I want to get into a little bit too, is that here at Forbes, we're champions of entrepreneurial capitalism for over 100 years. So we tell the stories of the doers. And I would love to better understand how you scaled Anastasia Beverly Hills from a single service brand to this global cosmetic powerhouse. I don't know anybody around the world who is not familiar with the brand that you've built, and that's truly a testament to also your business acumen in addition to your incredible talent. Can you tell us how, what that journey was like from the beginning, getting all the way into major retailers around the world like Sephora, Nordstrom, and Target?
So to me, at the beginning, the most important thing was to master my craft. I wanted to create, to be the best on doing eyebrows, to shape the most incredible eyebrows, and was word of mouth. This is how I created a clientele. Of course, all my celebrity clients validated my work, but the everyday clients that they used to come and get their service done, I'm grateful forever. So they kind of gave me the confidence, all of them, that whatever I was doing, it was something special. So I kept doing, and I wanted to master my craft. Once I did that, authentically, I needed to create products to offer my client to achieve that perfect eyebrow if they didn't have the perfect eyebrows. And then once I was able to create that product line, Nordstrom's came and they asked me if I want to sell their products in the store. And
wait, so they approached you?
Yes.
You didn't have to go knocking from door to door or try to get meetings with sales reps?
Exactly, because I had so many articles in magazine, and of course my celebrity clientele helped me to get that attention. And once I went to Nordstrom's, and this is a very funny story. Of course, you will read in the book much more, but I went to a conference room in Seattle for for a Nordstrom meeting to convince them to not only sell the products, but to have the service there, eyebrow studio. Because in 1999, women didn't know how to use a pomade on their eyebrows or powder on their eyebrow. And I wanted to make sure they understand how to achieve the perfect eyebrows. And there were like 14 people, in the men and women, in the conference room. And they said, well, when I suggested doing the service, they said, well, we are retailers, we are not in the service business. So what I did, I saw a lady across my chair, my table, and I said, will you allow me to do your eyebrow using the stencil and all the service that an esthetician will do? So she had beautiful eyebrow, but was very light blonde. So I went there. In 2 minutes, I could fill in, and you could see the one eyebrow done and the other one not. And you know, eyebrow is an instant gratification. It's not like a facial that you need months. It's an instant.
When I get my eyebrows done properly, I feel like a new woman.
You see, you know what? So of course that was seal of the deal. They approved that, and we opened brow studios in Nordstrom. And since 2000, we still have brow studios around the country in Nordstrom store. And then in 2007, Sephora came to us. We were at Cosmo Pro in Las Vegas, and our booth was packed with people wanted to learn to see how to use the product. And then Ulta and Macy's and all over the country.
That was so ingenious and smart, because if you think about it, you're so right? If you are creating these products that didn't previously exist in the marketplace and they're just sitting on a shelf, how is the consumer going to connect to it if they don't know how to use it and they don't see? And it's such a quick thing, right? Like if you're a trained expert and you know how to show people how to use the product, it helps tremendously.
No, it makes sense to have the products, but in the same time you had to show the clientele how to use it, to educate the clientele.
Right, and the benefits.
And the benefits. And then, of course, that we used to travel around the country, me and my daughter, to kind of...
Who used to work for you, right?
Yes, she used to work for me. And we used to travel to do personal appearance at Nordstrom at the beginning. And in 2011, she came to me and she said, Mom, maybe we don't need to travel that much. Is this app that we should open an account and we could post picture of the products, and maybe we don't need to travel that much. That account was the Instagram.
Instagram.
Yes. We were the first beauty brand to have an account on Instagram. And in 2012, it was absolutely incredible. And of course, I agree what my daughter said, but was very important to me. Of course, we read every single comment in the post. And one time I remember I posted the brow wiz, and was a comment there that like, I wish I could buy that brow wiz. And I said, send me your address, I will ship you one. She said, no, you can't, because I live in a small village in India. And I thought, oh my God, we could reach with Instagram somebody in India. We'll never be able to do it.
From Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was, to me,
another aha moment.
Another aha moment.
At the forefront.
Exactly.
So talk to me a little bit about taking creative risks. It sounds like the market was already there, right? It was waiting to be discovered. You already had the clientele.
Yes.
But still, as a business owner and entrepreneur, creative risks are a key part of the process. How do you evaluate when to take those risks versus when to stick to your core product line and base?
So we mastered the core products. When we launched, nobody had the extensive line of eyebrow products. We wanted to make sure the quality was amazing. I still, to these days, I approve every single batch of products that are produced. Because the color, the raw material could be different, so it's important to have exactly the same color, the same texture of every product. So once we did that, once we created, with the help of social media, we created this worldwide demand for our products. It made sense for us. Of course, we built everything, the eyebrow, the foundation base, and using the golden ratio. But if you think about it, because in art school I studied drawing a portrait, eyebrow is one of the most important feature of our face that brings balance and proportion, creates a harmony. contouring is as well very important. So I took that contouring, and talking with my daughter, I explained her, like, contouring is very important, again, to create an illusion of perfect balance and proportion.
Right.
So we created a contour kit with highlighter. I don't know if you remember.
I have it.
Oh,
okay. I've been a consumer since the beginning.
So we created that base, and making the client understand how important contouring is using the golden ratio. And then the eyeshadows, and so everything was done with
strategically,
very strategically, but authentic, and with combining science with beauty.
Mm-hmm. So talk to me a little bit about, the next phase too is every entrepreneur does face some difficult business decisions.
Yes.
What were some of the most difficult business decisions you had to make, and what prompted you to make them?
Well, I think in business, as an entrepreneur, you have a difficult decision to make every single day. But to give you an example, at the beginning, when I was selling the products only in a salon, I used to train a lot of esthetician on how to do eyebrows. And there were small little shops, the nail shop that they used to do eyebrows, or many other little shops that they wanted to sell my products. Of course, I could get that income will help me to grow the business. But I made that decision that I wanted to be in a big retails and not in a small salons that it was hard for me to control the quality.
Right, right.
So that was a difficult decision as a small business to make, but was the best decision I made. So that was an example, and many other more.
I'm sure.
If I will describe business and entrepreneurship, is every day you open your emails and you will have challenges. You have to solve problems, because as entrepreneur, this is what it is. You have to be alert, and you have to be able to make decision for your business. But you need to understand what is your core brand and stick to that, and where you want your brand to be.
So one of the things I loved about hearing in some of your other interviews, and when entrepreneurs and founders ask even me for professional advice, it is so key and resonates, is that you were never focused on the millions or the money or the success. It had to be the passion for the actual work. That being said, it is a really critically important moment when your business reaches a certain threshold, which you have. So talk to me about that moment. We're almost out of time, where your business hit that $1 billion mark, and what was going through your head at that moment, and how you processed that and took it forward.
Well, I've been a customer centric. To me, everything I've done was for my customer. I think my customer, and in general, customers are very educated, and I wanted genuinely to offer them the best of the best. I did the homework for them and just offer them, telling them how to use my products. So that was my goal from the beginning. Of course, I wanted to build a business, but I never in my wildest dream thought that I build a $1 billion business. And in 2017, I decided to expand internationally, and doing eyebrows in the salon and running the business and doing personal appearance, I knew that I would not be able to do that expansion on my own, so I decided to get an evaluation and get a partner. So when the people told me that the company is evaluated at $3 billion, I almost fell off my chair.
TPG,
Yes.
right? That was recently, just in 2018.
Yes, 2018. So it was kind of a way of my hard work, and everything I've done was really rewarded.
It all culminated in that moment.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know we're just about out of time, but final question about legacy and the future of Anastasia Beverly Hills, not just for the company, but for your personal brand and as a founder. What impact do you hope that Anastasia Beverly Hills will have on the future of beauty? I mean, beyond the impact it's already had, which is tremendous.
I hope that everyone will understand that building this brand, and reading the book you could understand. It took a lot, but it was so much love that I have for the business. And I want to innovate. I want to offer my clients everything that I think will be amazing. They will love it. Or I want to offer them products that they don't even know they will love it. And the legacy is definitely will be taken by my daughter that is so involved in the business. And the love that I have for my clients, for the love that and encouragement for other people, the young people, that if they want to get in the beauty business or any other business, they should believe in themselves and they should not take no as an answer. And I hope the book will inspire them to follow their dream. That's the reason why I wrote this book.
That's incredible. Well, Anastasia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And again, your book is called Raising Brows, My Story Building a Billion-Dollar Beauty Empire.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Iconoclast at the NASDAQ Market Site.
Thank you so much for having me.